So you made the point regarding the alignment between the governments of border states and the central government. The logic and the idea of Patel, the only solution to this thing is keeping national interest at the center, at the core. Where the political opportunism or some kind of appeasement or placation, if that is given importance over national interest, this kind of situation is, and the only solution that we can see to this thing is total transparency and building a narrative so that the population sees the hollowness in the state government. Here I'll also like to say what the Patel's opinion was about India joining Israel. He asked Nehru multiple times that many countries around the globe, around 50 countries, have already recognized the state of Israel, but why are we failing to do so? And the only reason that he can see is the political opportunism and appeasement of Indian Muslims. When you are taking decisions in national of such stature, the decisions has to be in national interest only, and no other consideration. Secondly, sir, the point, one, I don't know the related point. Yesterday also the point came up regarding linguistic states. So generally it is not talked about that Patel and also Ambedkar were not in favor of the linguistic states, saying that it will, in the course of time, lead to regional aspirations and break that thread that keeps us as a nation. So this also needs to be looked at. Thank you.
Thank you, Pratik. Very pertinent question you have raised. Let me share a few things about the particularly coastal areas. Before looking at the coastal area, what A.T. Mahan says, who control sea, control the world. At the contrast, sorry to say, but it's reality, our strategic thinking particularly based on a Varna system, and Varna system was not allowed. There was a 7 ban. One ban, scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, neither they get education, that is later on, we'll discuss later on. But what was the important point? The ban on cross the sea. Our religious texts not allowed us to cross the sea. If someone crossed the sea, he is violating a religious norms. And that was the reason from centuries we are not explore what happened across the sea. We were restrict ourselves in that area, and because of that practices, and there is no question at all to explore the maritime strategic resources by the princely states and not by the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. That's a very clarity. If you see the social hierarchy during that time, in fact, 1902 is the historic year for the millions or billions of Indian population, where Chhatrapati Shahu Maharaj, he started a reservation for first time for the 50% reservation for the downtrodden society. Then in 1921, Mysore of Maharaja Krishnaraj Vadiyar IV, he allowed first time the untouchables in the temples. In 1936, Maharaja Thirumal allowed the untouchables in Hindu temple, and then other side, Baroda Maharaj Sayajirao Gaikwad, he started the fellowships. So considering this chronology and considering the national interest and considering the nature of our princely states, I'm sorry to say it was dominated by the Jamindar, Rajas and controlled by themselves. So there was no concept of at all as a national unity, national integration of the state itself. They were controlled that state, exploited in a different form for their interests. So this is very clear problem, and because of that, we recently, after 40, in fact, Pune itself, a lot of discussion when Bal Gangadhar Tilak, crossed the sea, he made it Shuddhikaran. So that was the history, and you should not neglect it that. So maritime security, we are talking now court and other things, but this is a reality of Indian society, and this is a issue, number one. Number two, Colonel Saab said that Article 142 has given a power to judicial system. In fact, there are a lot of discussion on that. Article 142 should be there or not there. If you read the Constitutional Assembly debates, how judicial system can be, overpower. The democratic concept, if you do not have a social democracy and you have only political democracy, then you can have a same kind of problem what we are facing today. So where Ambedkar and Nehruji as well as Sardar Patel, they were looking at political democracy as well as social democracy. But unfortunately, we got independence, we got a constitution, one vote, one value, single citizen system, but that is for political interest, not for social interest. Somehow we are managing, but we are not that much matured where we can really call this a social democracy. And in a judicial system, take example of USA. Once judge appoint till the end, by the the last ritual, he act as a judge. But here, in a constitution, there is a cross connection. Supreme Court judge appointed by president, and president take oath by Supreme Court of Justice when he takes the power. Then the president is, without the consent of president, no one can declare war. So this is the very systematically approach founding fathers developed in the constitution. But yesterday I said, whatever constitution we have, if implementers are not that much matured, take example of the person in his room, the judge, in Delhi High Court judge, if I'm not wrong, when the fire took place, crores of rupees find out. Lastly, what he get it? He got a transfer from Delhi to Allahabad. But at the same time, the same judicial system maintaining peace and tranquility through different routes. When we never had a solution, political solution for Ram temple, then lastly we made a consensus and agreed about the Ram temple. So no one can criticize that decision. But when decision is not in our favor, we are criticizing to the judicial system. So this is the political issues. But so far, in my observation, in a constitution there is a provision. If you are not agree, you can propose the impeachment. And if impeachment pass in two houses, then that Supreme Court judge can remove in a very simple way. So this is the all kind of provisions made by the founding fathers, and they work in such that way, and that is contemporary relevance in today's. Lastly, what was the other question? What is the contemporary relevance of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel? Why we are celebrating 150th year birth anniversary? Because founding fathers, they have the visions, and visualization is not for that period. It is for years to go, and that's why each application, the thoughts is application. Take example of reorganization of state. Reorganization of state was happened after the Fazal Ali Commission in 1955. But Ambedkar started what should be a state, if India get independence, which form we should have it the states. Because every 6 miles our caste, culture, language is changing, and it's a diverse population. to maintain unity and integrity, it should be a central government should be a powerful. And before Constitution came in power, Ambedkar gave a separate Constitution draft. That was the book published, State and Minorities. Now, what was Puzzle Commission declared? One language, one state. What was the formula used by the formation of state? One language, one state. That was the formula used by the Fazal Ali Commission for the reorganization state. And second formula, northern side, it was the, a large number of population and large size of population. They made it states. And southern part, it is balkanized of the state. So from 1950 to 80s, hardly anyone can dare to say that any person who can become a prime minister from the southern part of India. Because the northern part of India, the last state created, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, as well as the other state, and large number of member of parliament come from that side. So anyone who control all four states control the political power in Delhi. In a contrast, what Ambedkar said that if you need to real social democracy through the political democracy, what he proposed one language, many states. So in Maharashtra, he himself wanted to have a 4 state. Now Vidarbha movement is asking the separate Vidarbha. If you go to the Marathwada, is a dry districts even today, but they are demanding different issues. Vidarbha and Bombay should be a city state like a Singapore, and this is a Pashchim Maharashtra or Western Maharashtra. The same way he said that in Uttar Pradesh there should be a 3 state. Already 1 state created during the Vajpayee period. Madhya Pradesh he proposed, the state Chhattisgarh he proposed, it was created. So what I'm saying here, all 4 found them, including Patelji, Nehru, and all that time, they had a different visualization, different idea of nation building, and their relevance in all the life, in all aspect, whether it's socio-economic, politics, everywhere it is applicable in a present form. And that's why I said Sardar Vallabhbhai's role, he said strong borders. And to strong borders mean need to military capability, need to powerful military intelligence system. What yesterday we had a serious attack, after abrogation of the Article 370, everyone's in that dilemma, or they say that everything is going well in Kashmir. But other side, we got a reaction. So time, speed, accuracy is changing nature of terrorists, and they use that kind of weapon in their hand, and now we receive it. So we need to revisit that issues, particularly when you deal with the contemporary issue. So I hope thank you. Yes, Colonel Joshi.
Yes. I'll be addressing the question on the vision of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Did it prove to be correct as far as the IAS and the IPS, and particularly the IB is concerned? Have I got the question correct, sir? I think, sir, as I already stated in my talk, that the ICS, the Imperial Civil Services, was already existing. It was designed to serve the imperial government. Primary task was to extract maximum possible taxes, maybe taxes on salt or maybe in taxes on road, any and every kind of tax. Their primary task was that. Their tax was to control their task was to control the population. The police was simply used to suppress the population. Now, reorienting this entire system to serve an imperial government, to in a way harass the government as against that, to help harass the people as against that, help the people. It is a mindset change. In the army, we call it drill and tartib. So certain units which have got a kind of a drill or tartib. It could be, you know, the manner in which they are offering you food, or the manner in which they are welcoming you or ushering you. These are drills which have been set at the time of institution of that particular unit, and come what may, those drills don't change. It is a mindset change. So in case if it is the senior most person of the post coming and receiving the dignitary, it will be the senior most. But if the unit has got a drill that he will not receive at the gate but directly at the office, no one can change it. And that changing of mindset, it is brilliant that Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel was able to achieve and institute that. Slowly they were called civil servants and not civil services. The word servant itself gave an mindset orientation to the people, the IS lobby, that they are supposed to serve the people. That's number one. Similarly, for the police, which was used for suppressing, they started solving crime, controlling people. But what about the IB particularly? Did the IB change? So what has happened, the entire setup of INT has got fragmented in the country. So we have got internal INT, strategic INT, tactical INT, all has got distributed. So the defense forces, we deal with only tactical INT, which is in and around our posts and immediately across. The IB is looking at all the intelligence inside. We have got the revenue intelligence, which is looking at INT in a different fashion. We have got intelligence for narcotics, the NCB they are doing. And then of course we have got RAW, which is looking at intelligence 5 kilometer and beyond from the IB. That is the international boundary. Now the Intelligence Bureau is responsible for all kind of activities within and very close to the proximity of this. Are they doing a good job? They are doing a good job. Certainly the kind of harmony which is there in all the intelligence agencies, IB is one of the key, particularly in places like the Northeast and the JNK. Their inputs are important. Are they failing? Yes, they are failing multiple number of times. Why they are failing? It is because simple reason of that wolf syndrome. INT is coming every single day. It is not true. It's not necessary that INT is true. So that particular day, actual INT came and you failed to act, disseminate, or the person receiving from IB thought that this is a daily business. They are giving INT that today attack is there, today attack is there. So they don't take it seriously. Possibly because of this reason, it gives an impression that IB is not as effective. They are also very effective. They are doing their work very properly. So that's what I would say. Did he succeed in orienting? Yes. Has the system relaxed or got corrupted? That too is a fact, but that's the basic human nature. It will continue to happen. It will go through the cycles of improvement and down. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think the questions asked were very relevant. Only one thing I will tell you, that international security dimension has completely been changing. That dimension which you in fact see now, that was never anticipated during the decade of 40s. Once you start articulating the global threat perception, I think you will find every threat perception will be of a newer type of threat perception. And again, that is wide encompassing. It is not restricted to one or two. But at the same time, the horrendous attack which really happened on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, after that the use of nuclear weapon, that was comprehended by Sardar Patel ji and also Prime Minister Nehru. And they were the first one. Even India had not become independent. They became one of the greatest critique of that action. And they started talking about nuclear disarmament from day one. When India became independent, India started contributing, especially in terms of ideas, resolution, action plan, to see that how the world gets rid of nuclear weapon. And there I see some contribution of Pandit Nehru and Sardar Patel, because they were basically in the forefront in terms of becoming a greater critique of the competition which the US was having with the Soviet Union because of the bipolar nature of international system. So I think that time and now the things have changed drastically, in terms of understanding the international security dimension. So all of you would agree that we really have learned a number of things from this panel, and obviously each of the issues which were presented came up with a very important viewpoint. So please join me in thanking all the members of this panelists, and we'll conclude this session.
Thank you. Thank you, Arvindji and Colonel Ashish and Colonel Naveen. In fact, I'm really thankful to you, both of you, because within a short span of time, you made a presentation. And as usual, Arvindji, thanks for chairing the session. Now we'll reassemble at 2:30, at the break for lunch. So please join for lunch. Thank you very much.